Division, if you're trying to get some points, I'm going to give 1 a point for telling me to bring down the 2, the 13, and the 15. He is right. When we're doing synthetic, we just need the ones. But it's going to be the opposite signs. It's going to be -5. So I'm going to give 2 a point as well.
You bring the 2 down?
Well, before we go crazy, what if this problem didn't have the 13t? What would we put instead of the 13? We would put a 0, and I heard it from 1, 2, and 6 at least. Did y'all say it as well? You don't know. So 1, 2, and 6 can have a point. You would. I had many on the test not put the 0 placeholders. Lo and behold, we missed the whole problem. Okay. Arturo says we draw an arrow and bring down the 2. We literally bring down the number 2.
Multiply it by -5.
2 times -5 is -10. Yep. 13 minus 10 is 3.
Multiply it by -5 to get
-15.
And then we have 0.
Okay, and not Arturo, because clearly he's got this. What does the 0 mean?
There's no remainder.
There's no remainder. Your name's Arturo, not Arturo. Me, not you, you goof. Day, I heard you as well. You can have a point. No. Okay, so my final answer is 230?
It's 2t plus 3.
That's literally it. 2t plus 3. Sad day and enough. I'm sorry, I'll wait. Clearly I'll have stuff I need to do. Okay. Synthetic division's about to come back up on Friday. We need it for something else in life. So it's not going away. So if you still don't have it down, my gosh, you got to do something. Okay. Number 6. I could use synthetic. Why do I not want to use synthetic?
Because the 2y.
I don't like synthetic because of the 2y, which is why Steph's group gets a point. I don't like when there's a leading coefficient, not a 1, to use synthetic. If you want to, you can. You could do the 6, the 1, the -2. What number would you have to put in the little house there? Yes, 6, you get your point. You'd have to put in 1/2. And that's why I don't want to do it. Now, can we do it and still be successful? Absolutely. But I'm a pass on that. Instead, I would do what?
Long.
I like long division. So I would say 2y minus 1 goes into 6y squared plus y minus 2. 2 to 6. What do I need to multiply by? 3y. Okay, so I heard it from 6. You can have your point. Oh, no, wait. That was Hunter. That was you, wasn't it? Did you say the 6? No, it was Eduardo. It was 6. Okay. 6, you can have your point. So I get 6y squared. -1 times 3, I get -3y. I have to change everybody's sign or else no one's going to cancel out. 6 minus 6, those do die. Y minus -3, what should I have left? 4y. So I have 4y and I bring down my -2. So 2y to 4y. How do I make that happen? Okay, plus 2. Perfect. 2y times 2y is 4y. -1 times 2 is -2. I change everybody's sign. 4y minus 4y is 0. -2 minus -2. -2 minus -2 is -2 plus 2, so it's 0 as well. So yay, both problems had no remainders. That's very, very unlikely in life. Whew. Are there any questions about 5 or 6? We can't do 7. We don't know how yet. That's what Friday's problem is. Notice it has that same word of synthetic. We're still going to end up using synthetic division to help us with synthetic substitution. Okay, get out your notes from yesterday. I'm still missing, which is definitely late, mazes, checkpoints, but also what's not late is the page, well, I did type in a 0 for it, but I'm willing to fix it, is the page 12 graphing notes. Yes, dear. Yes, the test is tomorrow. I'm still willing to type in the page 12 graphing notes. You can have a point for that. Is in the old packet. The old packet graphing notes. Okay. yesterday, so if we backed up again, just because apparently we need a recap because I don't know what we did in math class. Last Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we dealt with graphing things, so it looks similar to your math workshop problem of 10, 11, and 12, where you've got to think about the degree, the leading coefficient, the zeros, and how to sketch that graph. There's a test tomorrow. 4 of the test questions are on graphing. 4 of them. Okay, the other half of the test, which would be 6 other questions, are on factoring. Specifically, there are 2 problems on sum and difference of cubes, which we talked about yesterday, but have talked about repeatedly in our math workshop, so how you missed that, I don't know. There are 2 problems dealing with cortex, and we discussed yesterday, my way of dealing with something to the 4th power is to end up changing it to the 2nd, and then changing it back at the end. And there are 2 problems on the last section that we decided to save for today. But honestly, out of the 3 sections, the 3rd section is the easiest for you because it's the one we practice the most in class. Now, you were assigned yesterday this page on the back of those notes. That's what I want to see by the end of class. I want to know how far you get on this. And I'm not setting a specific number of page must be through all 18 or page must be through 6, because if I say a certain number and once page hits that number, she'll stop. So I just want to see what number page ends on at the end of class on this. She needs to practice all 18. 1, because it's due tomorrow. 2, because she has a test tomorrow. And 3, because I'm posting the answers later today. Paige is not really going to try to do it herself if she can just look at my answers. Okay. So we have 3 problems, and it's on you to work. Our 3 problems say factor by grouping. What do we normally do when there are 4 terms and it says grouping? Yes. 4 was at you. You can have your point. Okay, so we're going to make our groups. What can we factor out of that first group? An x squared, yes. So we're left with an, okay, so what should we factor out of that second group? And if we factor out a positive 4, we're left with an, and I'm happy because they match. So I'm going to have x squared plus 4 times x plus 3 equal to 0. Everyone in the room should have easily handled that because we've done 1,000 grouping ones on math workshops. 1,000 might be an exaggeration, but we've seriously done 20. Okay, but I'm not done because I need my answers. One of the answers is really easy. What's the easy answer? Yes. You can have your point. And that's going to be a real number. The other one's going to take a little work because when we do x squared plus 4 equal to 0, we get x squared equals negative 4. Oh no. What does that mean my answer is? It's going to involve an I. Plus or minus 4i? 2i, because the square root of 4 is 2. So it's plus or minus 2i. So if you need to write in that intermediate step, we had square root of negative 4. So we said that's really 4i. Hey, I know the square root of 4 is 2, so it's plus or minus 2i. And those are imaginary solutions, which means our graph, yes, Kelsey, we won't cross the x-axis at those spots, so we're only crossing the x-axis at negative 3. So our snake would only hit the x-axis once. Are there any questions on how we got these 2 solutions? Okay, so let's handle the next one. Same sort of thing, got to put them in groups. What do we factor out of that first group?
X squared.
If we factor out an x squared, I heard it from 3 and 4, was that you again? 3 and 4, get a point. We're left with a 2x minus 1. Why do we factor out of the second group? Well, yes, we need to be in negative 3, and we'll have a 2x minus 1.
They're both the same, so it'd be x squared minus 3 times 2x minus 1.
And you can have a point. Okay, and again, there is neither answer is terrible on this one, or none of our answers are terrible on this one. One is super easy. What's the easy answer? Yep. 2x minus 1, set that equal to 0. Solve for x, we'll get x equals to 1/2. So that was an easy real number. But at the other one, am I going to end up with imaginary stuff this time? No, because
3 would be positive.
3 is positive, so I don't have a negative under the radical. So
In the result, it would be x with the square equals the square root of 3.
he's almost perfect. What does he need to add? Yes, 1, you get your point. And then 2, you get your point as well because you handled it. Okay, I don't know why I wrote so crooked. I can apologize for that. Yes, dear. Oh, that was 5? Yeah, you can have your point. I thought it was non-Terrence again. Thank you for being honest. Okay, so those are still real number answers, though. They're not imaginary. We're only imaginary if we've added in the I. Why is 11 slightly harder, but not really? Uh-huh. I heard it 4 and 6, right? You can both have your point. So I'm going to have to move over that 9. But then after this, I'm still going to use my groups. I'm still going to factor something out. We're still going to keep doing the same old, same old. What can I factor out this time?
X squared.
Okay, if I factor out an x squared, I have... Okay. And then what should I factor out next? And I'm left with an...
X plus 1.
Okay, so again, I'm happy. Every single time you need to be happy right here or you've done something wrong.
And it would be x squared minus 9 times x plus 1.
Okay, the super easy answer is yes, and 3 is the point. That's the easy one.
The other one is x equals 3.
Okay. You know you're not quite there. You know me, you don't need one last time. It's plus or minus 3, Eduardo. Thank you. So he's right. But then, you know, Miss Brister is the genius who knows the difference of 2 squares. So maybe we should have changed it to x plus 3, x minus 3, instead of that x squared minus 9. And then it would have been obvious. Our 3 answers are negative 3, 3, and negative 1. They're all real numbers. You should only put that word imaginary if you've used that letter I. Imaginary, I, they go hand in hand. Okay. You gotta admit, 9, 10, and 11 are the easiest of the ones we talked about. So look on the next page. Which problems are going to be factoring by grouping problems? Look on the next page. Which problems are your factoring by grouping problems? 13 through 18. So if I were you, those are the ones I'd do first, because I got that. That's easy. Yes, and this is what I want to see. I want to know how far down Terry gets at the end of class. He's not in trouble if he doesn't get through all 18. I just want to know where he lands. Okay, get to work unless you have a question. Anyone have a question? Okay, then get to work. I don't care if you talk.